I'm going to show you how to place a shape in Illustrator and then place a pattern inside of it, and then you'll be able to put it in Glowforge, cut it, engrave it, score it, whatever you'd like to do. If you have a better way of doing this, let me know. I would be happy to know. It's taken me a long time to figure out even this way. So the first thing that I do when I am going to place a pattern into a shape is I create the pattern. That can be done in another video, but for the sake of this video, I will go over here to swatches, and I have these swatches that are available. You can go down here to library and choose many other swatches that you might like. I'm going to go to user defined, which is the ones that I've created, and choose flower, which is actually already here, and it also pops up here. So I'm going to choose a shape, and I'm just going to choose a circle. And so you can see that the fill is already selected over here as the flower. Originally it might have been just selected maybe as black or just as white. And so if you were to create your shape and it just came up as white, all you need to do is click this and your pattern appears. And if you don't like the way that the pattern is appearing inside, say that you want more of the pattern or less of the pattern, all you need to do is go back over here, click your selection tool. With this shape still highlighted, I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to transform, scale. So from here you can see that my shape already changed based off of the presets that were here. So I'm going to go down, and what you want selected, normally all of these are selected, so for the sake of this video, if you want to just move your pattern, you're going to deselect, and the only thing that you're going to have selected is the transforming of the patterns. Then you can choose the size, so you can make the size uniform or non-uniform. The pattern right now is appearing at 200%. Let's put it down to, we could do 30%. I just click away. And so you can see that I have more of the pattern. I could make it greater if I wanted to. I could do 100% and just have a portion of the pattern showing. Once I choose what I like, I'll click OK, and it's all set. From this point, I need to figure out how I'm going to make this a pattern that is able to be engraved, printed, scored in the Glowforge. So I am going to select everything with my selection tool, and from this point I'm going to go up to object, and I'm going to expand it, and I'm going to expand the fill, not the stroke. So the stroke is what's around it, but I want the fill, which is the pattern. So I'm going to deselect stroke and select OK. And as you can see, if you just highlight, I'm not pressing anything, but if you highlight, you can see the shape that doesn't appear. It's appearing outside the clipping mask. So we want to eliminate that because it won't engrave, score, cut on your Glowforge. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select everything again. And I'm going to go over here to properties on my screen. I'm going to get rid of this, goodbye. And I'm going to go to the Pathfinder tool, and I'm going to select trim. So I'm going to come down here, here's outline, there's crop, merge, trim. So I'm going to click trim. And as you can see, my score outside disappeared. So all I need to do is just recreate that again. I'm going to just draw another circle. So I'm going to get rid of my fill because I want my circle to just be a stroke. And I'm going to lay that on top. I'm also going to choose a different color because when I put it in my Glowforge, I want it to have the ability to do what I want. So if I want it to engrave, if I want it to cut, it needs to be a different color. So I'm just going to choose any random color. Normally I go with red, whatever I have. And now it should be red if I click away with the selection tool. And it's red. And I'm just going to move it so that way there it's, within the pattern, so that the pattern's not just like on its own. So I'm just going to move it, make sure it's within the pattern, or until I like it. Just going to keep adjusting. Okay, you can make it tighter if you have more time. You can zoom in, make it a little bit tighter, move it down. So even though it's overlapping a little bit, that's fine for me. Over here might not be what I want, so I'm just going to move that down a little bit. Actually, I'll zoom in so that way there I can see it a little bit better. a little bit better. So from here, all I need to do is save it. So I'm going to go up to File, Save As, and I'm going to save this one as Trial 1, and I'm going to save it in my file folder, SVG Files, and I'm going to save it as an SVG. I always use artboards, read it and saw it in YouTube and or Glowforge help community, so I just always end up selecting it. Don't know if you have to, I just do. I'm going to make sure that I save it, and I'm going to click OK. Okay, so then from there, let's see if it actually worked. So now I'm going to go back to my internet browser. I am going to dismiss my last cut, get rid of these, and I'm going to upload it and see if it will actually register itself and want to cut it. So I'm in my files, I'm going to go down to Trial 1. This is the right one. Yes, it is. Okay, upload. And as you can see, I don't have any issues. Nothing popped up. Nothing told me I couldn't do it. I have engrave and I have cut. And it's not showing here, unfortunately. I probably have to restart my machine, or it's because my machine's off. But from here, I can cut it. I can engrave it. I won't engrave it because what happens when you engrave is it engraves every piece of it. So I don't want that. I just want to score it because I just want the pattern itself to be scored into the material, because then I can paint it and it leaves the other portion of the material still smooth and ready. And then this overlay of the cut will go over it. It will cut it all out and you should be all set.